Welcome to Killer Kitchen. Love the rain, don't you? Kinda cleans and cleanses. It's like being dead. And speaking of being dead, tonight on the Killer Kitchen, we bring you Night of the Living Dead in color, 1968 original release. So join us, please, this way.
Welcome to a night of total terror. Night of the Living Dead.
Every minute, the terror gets closer.
Cooper, you gotta help me out!
Every second, the tension gets deadlier.
It's all right, don't shoot, don't shoot!
Every moment could be your last. George Romero's all-new Night of the Living Dead, rated R. Starts Friday, October 19th at select theaters.
You're invited to the Halloween party of the year. Miller Lite's big Halloween haunt.
Right, big man. 160 very lucky people will be flown to Universal Studios Hollywood.
Find this special can hidden in 12 packs and cases of Miller Lite. It's your invitation to go.
Oh, it's 45,000 on the prizes. Details from Miller Lite. It's gold.
Man, it's gonna be a scream.
It's time to turn up the heat to the boiling point. Ooh, a sizzling hot private one-on-one conversation. For the hottest voices in town, call 1-900-288-2050.
Feel the heat. $4.99 per minute.
So call me now and feel the heat.
Uncut, uninterrupted, 4 hair-raising, spine-tingling, twisted tales of the unexpected. Going my way. Of the disconnected.
Who's on the line?
Of the resurrected.
Well, he's alive! He's a dummy! He's a black or wood!
And the misdirected.
I was only trying to protect my home.
For the best from the Twilight Zone. Monday night at 8 on Channel 11.
You're sick people, all of you.
We now return to Killer Kitchen. Well, welcome back. You have caught me in the process of making one of my favorite old-time side dishes, macaroni salad. Now, I hope you guys stick around tonight because we have a lot to show you. Kind of like this. I have to use bottled water for cooking because the water is so nasty that when you cook with it, you can still taste the chemicals in that water. And that's without a train disaster. Speaking of, my condolences to those people stuck there that still have to live with that. It sucks. But part of living in a liberal nation is knowing your government doesn't care. And speaking of not caring, I decided tonight that I'm not going to care. I want to make some old-timey food and watch an old-timey movie. But because we live in the modern age, I figured we're going to make that old-timey food in a modern-day convenience while watching an old-timey movie with a modern-day convenience. Tonight's movie is In Color, the original, October 1st release, 1968, Night of the Living Dead. With Judy O'Day as Barbara, Dwayne Jones as Ben, Carl Hartman as Harry Cooper, Marilyn Eastman as Helen Cooper, Keith Wayne, aka Dr. Keith Hartman, as Tommy, and Judith Ridley as Judy. Directed by George Romero, and the screenplay by Jack Russo and George Romero. Why wait? Let's get to it. Oh, you know what? One thing I wanted to bring up is in this movie, when they were making it, half the cast actually didn't really know if it was going to be anything at all, and it started with such a low budget. But everybody in this movie literally had some kind of acting experience, was in the industry but not well known, and after this movie kind of faded off. Like they had their 15 minutes of fame and just decided that was enough. Dr. Keith Hartman, who actually went on to be a podiatrist. That's odd, but yeah.
A chiropractor.
Ah, chiropractor, that's right. The podiatrist was the, wrong actor, wrong movie, sorry. Chiropractor. Still kind of ironic, really, if you think about it. A man who supposedly burns to death and breaks his back now works on people's backs.
They ought to make the day the time changes, the first day of summer.
What?
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us. Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this? You know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh, you know that she can't. Is there any of that candy left?
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth. Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
We're back on? Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back on the air after an interruption due to technical problem.
There's nothing wrong with the radio. Must have been the station.
Which row is it in?
Well, there's no one around.
Well, it's late. If you'd gotten up earlier.
Oh, look, I already lost an hour's sleep on the time change.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk. There it is.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year. Each year we spend good money on these things. We come out here and the one from last year's gone.
Well, the flowers die, and the caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish. You can clean this up. Sell it next year. Wonder how many times we bought the same one. Hey, come on, Barb. Church was this morning, huh? Hey, I mean, praying's for church, huh? Come on.
I haven't seen you in church lately.
Well, there's not much sense in my going to church. Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boy, you'll be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny.
You're still afraid.
Stop it now. I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
Welcome back to Lightomania.
Hard to believe I'm winning.
Hold it. Thank you.
Jesse's going for the mask.
Wow, the old mask trick. They're still using it.
Who is this guy? Oh, look out! Oh, this is it, John! Quiet.
It's Euchre.
Gee, what a surprise.
Hi, Tom.
Wait, it's not over yet. Jesse is really L.C. Greenwood. What a makeup job. And I'm not Vince McMahon.
Oh, here's Sonny Bono.
Hi, everybody.
Well, Sonny, Taste Great has won, which proves Miller Lite is America's favorite light beer. Because when it's Miller Lite, less filling really tastes great.
I fooled everyone. Who is this guy? Now listen, I got a story for everyone.
Confessions.
Eavesdrop on real people telling their innermost secrets.
I'm afraid my husband will find out. I'm leading a double life.
Darkest desires.
The safe was left unlocked today.
Most bizarre encounters.
I saw this woman today. I couldn't help myself.
Intimate secrets. 1-900-740-3040. $2 per minute. Secrets that have to be told. 1-900-740-3040 now.
You can lock your doors, but you can't lock the madman out of your mind. Maniac. No one under 17 admitted.
Saturday nights at 10 on WKZF, Channel 68.
Barbara's found herself in the old farmhouse, seemingly abandoned, and I started thinking, well, a great zombie movie always requires a great zombie-style snack. So, we have a couple little things on the menu tonight. While we let our macaroni salad chill before we mix up the salad itself, I decided we're going to try two more things. One is a Rice Krispie Treat Zombie Brain. And before that, I went digging into the Red Dead Delicious Cookbook, or Dead Delicious Cookbook, and decided on zombie skin crackers. So, everything you see right here is what we will be using to make our zombie skin. So we're going to start by taking our pumpkin, and we're going to dump that in first. Now with tough cans like this, the best thing to do, get it on both sides, and I'll show you something here. Push it right on through, just like that. There you go. Throw that tin can away. Now what we need is 1/3 cup of brown sugar. So, come in here and we're going to look at our cups. Not these cups. These cups. 1/4. There we go. 1/3. 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Right on top. Now, we need something called kosher salt. I do not have kosher salt on hand. And in fact, it's not something I've gone out of my way to buy, and I'm not going to the store. So I decided to scope out the solution to this little problem. See, there are no problems, only solutions. John Lennon. But in a response to this little abrasion, I found out that half of the amount of kosher salt to sea salt. So if you're going to use sea salt instead of kosher, just use half. This says half a tablespoon. So, half of a tablespoon would be 2 teaspoons. And I am honestly having a problem doing this. So, that's one. And 2. We're going to set these aside. Now what we need is 1 tablespoon of oil. So, we got our tablespoon out. We've got our oil. Now, they say to use olive oil. Again, don't have it on hand. Use the rest of the olive oil when we made our pizza last week. So, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. In like that. And then we need our cinnamon. And for cinnamon, we need 1/2 tablespoon. 1/2 tablespoon. Right here. Just like that, and on top. Now, according to the book, you should end up with a crumbly looking, almost like a dough, but not really. So let me see if I can show you guys here. Something kind of like this. Kind of like a dough, crumbly, but not really. So, in the meantime, while I gather up the rest of our essential needs here for our zombie skin, I think we should get back to the movie. So, shit, let's roll it. Oh, one thing I do want to toss out there, this recipe right here will actually make a lot of you vegans very, very happy. This is 100% vegan, so there's no real actual meat or animals being harmed at all. Of course, I feel bad for the little plants that got hurt making this. You know, all you vegans go off about, oh, you're a murderer, you eat meat. Well, you know what, you're a murderer too, because you eat plants. And I like plants. Plants give me oxygen to breathe. Meat puts meat on my bones. So, If I'm a murderer for liking my steak, you're a murderer for liking your salad.
All right. Don't worry about him. I can handle him. Probably be a lot more of them as soon as they find out about us. The truck is out of gas. This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? We can try to get out here if we can get some gas. Is there a key? I suppose you've tried this. Do you live here? Jesus. We've got to get out of here. We have to get where there's some other people. Maybe we better take some food. I'll see if I can find some food.
What's happening?
How do you think it's happening?
What's happening?
Two of them. There are two of them out there. Have you seen any more around here? I can take care of those two.
I don't
I know you're afraid, but we have
I
to...
don't know! I don't know! What's happening?
They know we're in here now.
Don't look at it.
Get some more lights on in this house. Why don't you see if you can find some wood, some boards, something there by the fireplace, something we can nail this place up. Oh, God damn. Look, I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we'll have to work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place up. Do you understand? Okay? Okay?
Will return to Killer Kitchen only on the Angry 80s Guy YouTube channel.
They were resting in peace until they were rudely interrupted.
What do you want to do, Skull? Sit on the gravestone?
I just want to party.
This place is a mess.
Now look who's awake.
They're on the way. Break!
They're back from the grave and ready to party.
I think things are getting out of hand.
The Return of the Living Dead. Rated R.
Come on, join the party. Just call 1-800-747-GIRL and trade exciting, exotic voicemail messages with some of the most beautiful women in the world.
We're the girls of paradise.
And here's where your fantasies begin. Just pick up the phone, and we'll meet you in paradise. Don't wait, call now.
When there's no peace for the dead, there's no escape for the living.
Is it serious?
Is dead serious?
I know!
Just when you thought it was safe to be dead. Return of the Living Dead, Part 2. Rated R. Starts Friday. Check newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
We now return to Killer Kitchen. And welcome back. Now, while we let old Ben finish hammering away and boarding up the old farmhouse, something just occurred to me today. As of this episode, we will have been on the air for 2 full years. Now, to me, that's a pretty big milestone. I don't ever finish nothing that I start. Being that I started this 2 years ago, we're still here, I figured it's time for a bit of a celebration. Now, as you know, here in the kitchen, ain't nothing ever quite what it seems. So, I have a partially frozen bottle of Andre Champagne, the white. And as much as I like my Miller, that's the last one for this episode. I think we're going to celebrate. In fact, if you're wondering why the camera angle seems a little off, I decided tonight to give Cam Pam the night off. So, she can either go run around and fucking chase down shit and play at the bar, or she can sit here and hang out with me. And she chose to sit here and hang out with me. So now, for any good type of drink like this, I like to add my little cherries. So there's 1 and 2. 1 here. Cherry juice. Cherry juice. Now, I'm going to take some of these aged bitters. This is cherry bitter. Just going to sprinkle a couple in here just like that. You don't want a lot, just a little bit. Alright, both of you can knock it off. This is what I have to fucking live with. Yeah! Go play. Gonna make 'em. That went a lot smoother than anticipated. And with the way these two are acting, I'm surprised. Just like that.
I thought you were going to add the juice.
Yeah, I was. I figured I'd give us one good stiffy first. Stiffy. You'll have to excuse my language. But as I said at the start of the episode, they don't care, so neither should I. Right? So, here you go, Pam.
Thank you.
Brewin' Cam Pam. And I am your host, Vincent Victorian. Cheers. Thanks for sticking around with us for the last 2 years. Hopefully we can give you another good couple. As to our zombie skin crackers, we are going to start by taking our bowl, and that's pretty well mixed in. But this is the important part. You want to mix in your red food coloring. You're going to use roughly about 1 teaspoon. But here's where it gets tricky. Is you don't want it fully mixed. You want clumps. Kind of like little red nuggets. Red and orange. Mixing as little as possible. Getting that kind of look and consistency with the red and the orange. We're going to leave that just like that and take and set it aside. Now, cunt! God damn it! I know, God didn't damn it, so why am I? Because I have that right. Fuck. What a mess. God damn it. Sphinx, get down. So listen, while I manage out this fucking mess, why don't we get back to the rest of the episode, and we'll finish this up in about 10 minutes. God damn it.
Not that strong. Here, I want you to pick out some nails. Pick out the biggest ones you can find. There, this room looks pretty secure. If we have to, we can run in here and board up the doors. Won't be long before those things be back pounding their way in here. They're afraid now. They're afraid of fire. I found that out. You know a place back down the road called Beekman's? Beekman's Diner? Anyhow, that's where I found that truck I have out there. There's a radio in the truck. I jumped in to listen to it when a big gasoline truck came screaming right across the road. But there must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on. Now, I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. And those things were catching up to it. The truck went right across the road. Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now, it was like a moving bonfire. Didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. Could still hear the man screaming. This thing is just backing away from it. I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me. It was when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled. There wasn't a sign of life left except... By now there were no more screams. I realized that I was alone with 50 or 60 of those things, just standing there, staring at me. I started to drive. I just plowed right through them. They didn't move. They didn't run or just stood there staring at me. Just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
We were riding in the cemetery, Johnny and me. Johnny. We came to put a wreath on my father's grave. Johnny, and he said, "Can I have some candy?" Barbara. We didn't have any. And... oh, it's hot in here. Hot. And he said, "Oh, it's late. Why did we start so late?" And I said, "Johnny, if you'd gotten up earlier, we wouldn't be late." Johnny asked me if I were afraid. And I said, "I'm not afraid, Johnny." And then this man started walking up the road. He came slowly, and Johnny kept teasing me and saying, "He's coming to get you, Barbara." And I laughed at him and said, "Johnny, stop it." And then Johnny ran away. And I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
Why don't you just keep calm?
And I looked up, and I said, "Goody." And he grabbed me. He grabbed me, and he ripped at me. He held me, and he ripped at my clothes.
I think you should just calm down.
Oh, I screamed, "Johnny! Johnny, help me! Oh, help me!" And he wouldn't let me go. He ripped. And then Johnny came, and he ran, and he fought this man. And I got so afraid. I ran. And Johnny didn't come. We have to wait for Johnny. We better go out and get him. We have to go out and get Johnny. He's out there. Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please! We have got to go get Johnny! Please help me! Please!
Don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you understand? My brother is alone!
Your brother is dead.
No! My brother is not dead! Oh. Oh.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. The murders are taking place in villages, cities, rural homes, and suburbs with no apparent pattern or reason for the slayings. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. We have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being... So, at this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine that any kind of organized investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff's deputies, and emergency ambulances are literally deluged with calls for help. The scene can best be described as mayhem. Mayors of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Miami, along with the governors of several eastern and midwestern states, have indicated the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment, but that has not happened as yet. The only advice our reporters have been able to get from official sources is for private citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the nature of this crisis has been determined and until we can advise what course of action to take. Keep listening to radio and TV for any special instructions as this crisis develops further. Thousands of office and factory workers are being urged to stay at their places of employment, not to make any attempt to get to their homes. However, in spite of this urging and warning, streets and highways are packed with frantic people trying to raise their families or apparently to flee just anywhere. We repeat, the safest course of action at this time is simply to stay where you Ladies and gentlemen, we've just received word that the president has called a meeting of his cabinet to deal with the sudden epidemic of murder which has seized the eastern third of this nation. The meeting is scheduled to convene within the hour. Members of the presidential cabinet will be joined by officials of the FBI and joint chiefs behind closed doors. The White House spokesman, in announcing this conference, says there will be an official announcement as soon as possible following that meeting. This is the latest dispatch just received in our newsroom. Latest word also from National Press Services in Washington, D.C. now tells us that the emergency presidential conference, which we've just mentioned, will include high-ranking scientists from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. That's the extent of this latest bulletin. Repeating, members of his cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and scientists from NASA within the hour. All radio and TV stations from this part of the country, including the one to which you're listening, have joined their facilities in an emergency network to bring you this news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and TV and to stay indoors at all costs. Late reports reaching this newsroom tell of frightened people seeking refuge in churches, schools, and government buildings, demanding shelter and protection from the wholesale murder which apparently is engulfing much of the nation. Law enforcement officials are at a loss to explain or, even at this hour, even to theorize about the reasons for this wave of murder. So far, the advice we are able to give the public is summarized by Police Chief T.K. Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina, who's quoted as saying, quote, "Tell the people, for God's sake, to get off the streets. Tell them to go home and lock their doors and windows up tight. We don't know what kind of murder happened."
Well, I guess while Ben has himself a cigarette, we can join. What can I say? I got jealous of Ben. So while he has a cigarette, why don't we take that opportunity and I'll show you guys how to finish where we left off. Now, first thing I'm going to do is take this. You guys can see we've got the clumps here of red. This is where it starts to get a little bit more difficult. Well, we want to take some aluminum foil. And we're going to take a baseball size clump of our mix and put that on top of here. But to make sure that we get it done the right way and that it comes off easily, here, Cam Pam, have a smoke. We're going to spray down our aluminum foil with some cooking spray. Cam Pam and Pam.
Couldn't come worse.
All right, now. We're going to take it just like this, about a baseball size, they said. So, that's pretty close. And keep in mind, you don't want this thoroughly mixed. if your blood spatters or your red spatters mix in completely, you did it wrong. You're going to have to start from scratch. You want that orange-red kind of just... So we're going to take that, we're going to scrunch this into a ball, like so. About a baseball size. That's about what it is. Hey, catch! Ow, ow. Fuck, that hurt. Anyway, that's enough of my games. I'm a dumbass. Right.
You think you're cute.
Now, now we're going to take this, and we are going to take a piece of parachute paper. You can also use wax paper. I prefer the parchment because the parchment, I said parachute, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I really want to go skydiving. I've been on this kick for the last 6 months. I'm afraid of planes, but I want to jump out of one. But, we're going to take this, and we're going to cover it with foil, ball it up. Now, what you want to do next is we're going to need this guy.
Take the wrap off. No, that was already, that goes on the bottom.
That does not go on the bottom. The tin foil goes on the bottom. Now what you want to do is unravel your bowl. Your ball. Just like this. And I think I did it wrong. You want to make that as flat as possible. Now, if some oozes out of the sides, no big deal. Pick it up, throw it right back in, smush it in. I didn't use enough, and honestly, I don't know if this is going to work because this does not look like the right consistency that they're talking about. Will you get down? I'm not giving you my pumpkin. Go. There. Again. Get a little bit off the sides. You just scrape it off, throw it right back in. Now, I did this wrong, and mine did not blend. Mine is just a red puck. But we're going to bake it anyway. So, let's take this stuff, set it to the side. It's going to be one of them days. Like I said, that's the important part, and I think it's pretty safe to say that I fucked up. Mine is not stringy, mine's just a blotch of red. But we'll see how it turns out. I've been pleasantly surprised in the past. So we've got this turned on. It's at 375. And we're going to do that for 9 to 11 minutes. So that'll give us enough time to get back to the movie. So we'll see you right here on the next break in the Killer Kitchen, where we've always got something cooking, even if it doesn't turn out right. Fuck. Hey, are you guys into the whole gross, moldy, and weird? Do you enjoy movies with lots of blood, lots of guts, lots of spiders, and lots of titties? You've come to the right place. Stay here, stick around, and we'll show you all the goods on Killer Kitchen.
Chief Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina. So far, the only descriptions, the only clues anyone has of the killers come from frightened witnesses to some of the slayings. These eyewitness accounts variously describe the murderers as ordinary-looking people, misshapen monsters, people who look like they're in a trance the slaying of a family of 7 in their rural home near Gulfport, Louisiana. Since then, reports of such senseless killings began snowballing in a reign of terror which has hopscotched in an erratic, disconnected manner throughout much of the eastern and midwestern United States. Efforts to keep track of the murder reports by the placing of markers on a map seem to indicate a general spreading of the extreme southeastern United States to the north and west. Our newsmen have been on the telephone talking with officials in other cities and have determined that none of this kind of mass murder has yet been reported west of the Mississippi River, except in the extreme southeastern portion of Texas. Similar killings have been reported around the Houston and Galveston areas, but nothing like...
I found the gun and some bullets out there.
It was only late yesterday
Oh, and
that it
these.
first became clear we were facing some kind of national emergency. When first reports began filtering in, newsmen and law enforcement agencies were of the opinion
This
that
place is boarded up pretty solid now.
in nature. However, as these
We ought to be all right here for a while.
dramatically, it was soon apparent that
We have
this
the
was
gun
something
and
more than the
bullets,
usual run of lawlessness.
food and the
Some
radio.
officials began to suspect an obscure kind of conspiracy.
Sooner or later, someone's bound to come and get us out.
Creatures from outer space. So again, we join with law enforcement agencies in urging you to seek shelter in a building. Lock the doors and windows securely.
Hey, that's us. We're doing all right.
Be cautious of any suspicious strangers. And keep tuned to your radio and television for survival instructions and further details of this continuing story.
Look, I don't know if you're hearing me,
Goes on in the absence of any law.
but I'm going upstairs now.
It's almost as though some critical balance of
If anything should try to break in here, I can hear it from up there. I'll be down to take care of it.
savage killers. We repeat, this radio station.
Everything is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later. But you'll be all right for now, okay? Okay.
Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers.
Will return to Killer Kitchen only on the Angry 80s Guy YouTube channel.
The masked marauder drinks Miller Lite because it's less filling. I drink it because it tastes great, and Taste Great is gonna win. But you gotta help me unmask him, Don Pardo, the Cruz.
Well, Jesse, he's known for getting great seats.
He missed the tag.
For his golf swing. And for drinking America's favorite light beer, Miller Lite. Unmask him and win $10,000 instantly. Watch for details. Back to you, Jesse.
Who is this guy?
Following's for adults only.
Let's play.
I'm all alone. Pick up the phone, cat got to come.
Don't be lonely. Talk live to your special lady tonight. International long-distance rate supply as low as 50 cents a minute. Adults only. By L&B Media.
Pick up the phone.
Cat got your tongue.
We now return to Killer Kitchen.
I have seen the future of horror. His name is Clive Barker.
Every once in a while, the gods seem to shine down here on us on the kitchen.
Hellraiser. Beyond any terror you have imagined. A nightmare. No. Unlike anything you have witnessed.
what we're going to do is we're going to turn this down to 350.
Is born. Because within these walls, the unholy is unleashed.
I ever tell you guys about little Johnny and his first day of school?
Hellraiser, a film by Clive Barker.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Everybody, we'll see you next week.
Saturday nights at 10 on WKZF, Channel 68.
We now return to Killer Kitchen. And here you go. Here is your zombie skin. And for you little tykes, zombie bites. So now, as Ben drags the corpse into another room, as shall I drag you into our next little project. Speaking of, if you guys are interested, stick around for a special Vincent's Varieties later this week where I will show you how to make your very own brain mold. However, we're not going to do that here tonight because I happen to have a brain mold on hand. So now the first thing I'm going to do is under a medium heat, you want to melt a half a stick of butter. Yuck. This takes just a few minutes. So in the meantime, while I melt this down, why don't we get back to the movie? Once this gets thoroughly melted down, I'm going to take my marshmallows and I'm going to stir in my marshmallows a little bit at a time as the butter melts, kind of like right now. And this is the secret to your marshmallow treats that you go and spend $5 for a box that probably cost the company a whole fucking $3 to make. Oh wait, that's right, big business. They maybe spent $1.50. Kind of like McDonald's. They give you a soy burger that's worth 50 fucking cents, but they sell you that fucking soy burger for $10 fucking dollars, along with their French fries. Because let's be honest, you can't really call them fries. Are they even potatoes? Who the fuck knows? Is that real meat? Fuck no. Oh, Burger King, they got their big open flame broiled. Yeah, this is the same company that introduces their fucking Impossible Burger. You know what? You can take your Impossible fucking Whopper and stick it up your impossibly wide asshole. Worst tasting fucking piece of cardboard I've ever had in my mouth, and I eat plastic. I just bit my fucking finger. That hurt. Cut the camera.
Consistent reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they kill. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening, but these are the reports we have been receiving and passing on to you, reports which have been verified as completely as is possible in this confused situation. It is happening, and it would appear that no one is safe from this wave of mass murder.
shoot. We're from town.
A
radio.
County, Pennsylvania. The Butler County Sheriff has verified that reports of murder victims being partially eaten by their slayers is true. No further details available at this time. However,
How long you guys been down there? I could use some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How were we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody if they needed help.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there.
We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things were in the house afterward.
And you wouldn't come up and help?
Well, if there were more...
The racket sounded like the place was being ripped apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
Now, wait a minute. You just got finished saying you couldn't hear from down there. Now you say it sounded like the place was being ripped apart. It would be nice if you get your story straight, man.
All right, now you tell me. I'm not going to take that kind of a chance when we got a safe place. We luck into a safe place, and you're telling us we got to risk our lives just because somebody might need help, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, why don't we settle this?
Look, mister, we came up. Okay, we're here. Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah, most of it. All but a few spots upstairs. They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this lousy pile of wood?
His wife and kids downstairs. The kid's hurt.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we could fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy, you know that? You got 1 million windows up here. All these windows, you're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
I told you, those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you they turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any good 5 men can do that.
That's my point. Only there's not going to be 5 or even 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as soon as they know we're here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there are that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar. The cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door, that's all we have to protect. Tom and I fixed it so it locks and boards from the inside. But up here, all these windows, why, we'd never know where they were going to hit us next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there with no windows, if a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right. You know how many's out there?
I don't know. Maybe 6 or 7.
Look, you two can do whatever you like. I'm going back down to the cellar, and you better decide. Because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to unlock it again no matter what happens.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours.
Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it to the cellar if we have to. And if we do decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up here. So let's at least consider this a while.
If you box yourself in this cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 out there now.
There's more than there were. There are a lot out back, too.
fix these boards.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be at every window and door in this place. We've got to get down into the cellar.
Go down in your damn cellar. Get out of here!
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here. Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the food is part of what I'm fighting for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've got to have food down there. We've got a right.
This is your house.
We've got a right.
You going down there with him?
Well,
yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
Listen, I got a kid down there. She can't possibly. I couldn't bring her up here. She can't possibly take all the racket and those things smashing through the windows.
Well, you're her father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that trap, that's your business. However, I am not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kid that her old man is so stupid. Now, you get the hell down in the cellar. You can be the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
You bastards. You know, I won't open this door again. I mean it.
Mr. Cooper, with your help, we could...
With my help?
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Wait a minute. Judy, come on up here, honey.
You're gonna let them get hurt too, huh?
It's all right, honey. Go ahead. If we stick together, man, we can fix it up real good. There's lots of places we can run to up here. Mr. Cooper, we'd all be a lot better off if all three of us were working together.
Hey. Hey, kid. He's wrong, you know. I'm not boxing myself in down there.
This radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there, let them. There are two other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard you screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Is she all right?
I don't know what it is. She feels warm. Maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket. I tore a sheet.
Let them stay upstairs. Let them. Too many ways those monsters can get in up there. We'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them in down here.
That's important, isn't it?
What?
To be right, everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
Whatever it isn't just happening here. It's some kind of mass murder. It's going on everywhere. The radio said to stay inside.
Radio?
Radio upstairs. I heard a news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs and you boarded us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. Nothing. They don't know anything yet. There's mass murder everywhere, and people are supposed to look for a safe place to hide.
Take the boards off that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us so they'll tell us what to do. How are we going to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon? We may not enjoy living together, but dying together isn't going to solve anything. Those people aren't our enemies.
Mr. Cooper! Mr. Cooper, Ben found a television set upstairs.
Let's go up. Tom?
Yeah.
If Judy would come downstairs for a few minutes, Harry and I could come upstairs.
Okay, yeah, right away. Will you do it?
Do I have to?
Look, honey, nothing's gonna get done with them down there and us up here. Do this for me.
Okay.
Okay, open up.
I'll take good care of her, Helen.
She's all I have.
Why don't you go upstairs now?
Will return to Killer Kitchen only on the Angry 80s Guy YouTube channel.
Day of the Dead.
They have overrun us, you know. Something like 400,000 to 1 by my calculations.
Day of the Dead.
It could be years before we know exactly what we're dealing with here.
Day of the Dead. The darkest day of horror the world has ever known. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead.
Due to scenes of violence, no one under 17 admitted.
Starts Friday at a theater or drive-in near you. Check newspapers for showtimes. Following's for adults only.
Let's play.
I'm all alone. Pick up the phone, cat got to come.
Don't be lonely. Talk live to your special lady tonight. International long-distance rate supply as low as 50 cents a minute. Adults only. By L&B Media.
Pick up the phone.
Cat got your tongue?
The Masked Marauder drinks Miller Lite because it's less filling. I drink it because it tastes great, and Taste Great is gonna win. But you gotta help me unmask him. Don Pardo, the Croods.
Well, Jesse, he's known for getting great seats.
He missed the tag!
For his golf swing. And for drinking America's favorite light beer, Miller Lite. Unmask him and win $10,000 instantly. Watch for details. Back to you, Jesse.
Who is this guy?
We now return to Killer Kitchen. And now that we have melted this in, what I did was I kind of took a cup of Rice Krispies and alternated putting it in Rice Krispies with the red velvet cake.
Mix.
Now, yeah, I know, the mix. Sorry, I had to stop there midway. Now what you want to do, take a piece of parchment paper, like that. And I just made another mess. Fucking things are hot. Now, we did not make enough to fill up the entire mold, so we're just going to give you the top half of the brain. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these into the freezer, and in the meantime, we're going to start cutting the stuff up and making our macaroni salad. But now, to those of you inexperienced cooks out there, the most important part of any meal and any venture, soak your pot as soon as possible, or else it will be a bitch to clean. This is Killer Kitchen with a handy kitchen tip.
was killed.
Hey, give me a hand with this thing.
I gotta go help Ben with the television.
Don't be afraid of me. I'm Helen Cooper, Harry's wife.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. There's a million weak spots up here. Give me one of those.
Her brother was killed.
And they talk about these windows. I can't see a damn thing. There could be 15 million of those things out there. That's how much good these windows are.
Why don't you do something to help somebody?
Here I have it. Drag a couple of those chairs together.
There's a socket over here. You better watch this and try to understand what's going on. I don't want anyone's life on my hands.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. If you stay up here, you take orders from me. And that includes leaving the girl alone.
It's on, it's on.
There's no sound. Play with the rabbit ears.
Reports, incredible as they seem, are not the results of mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria. What do they think? We're imagining all this? Shut up!
In all parts of the country. The wave of murder which is sweeping the eastern third of the nation is being committed by creatures who feast upon the flesh of their victims. First eyewitness accounts of this grisly development came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. And medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact that they had been partially devoured. I think we have some late word of just arriving, and I'll interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television was advising people to stay inside, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed, and we're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you and make your way to that location as soon as possible.
So we have that truck. If we can get some gas, we can get out of here.
There's a pump out by the shed.
I know, that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked.
Called this afternoon by the President. Since convening this conference of the Presidential Cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an earthbound emergency? So far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. That's the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering? Newsman Don Quinn in Washington has posed those questions.
It's obvious our best move is to try to get out of here.
How are you going to get over to that pump?
Look!
You're coming from a meeting regarding the explosion of the Venus probe, is that right?
Yes, that was the subject of the meeting.
You feel there is a connection between this and the phenomenon?
There's a definite connection.
In other words, you feel that the radiation on the Venus probe is enough to cause these mutations?
There was a very high degree of radiation.
Well, just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that has been
logical explanation that we
proved.
have at this time.
In other words, it is the military's viewpoint that the radiation is not the cause of the mutation.
I can't speak for the entire military at this time, gentlemen. I must disagree with these gentlemen presently until this is irrefutably proved.
Everything is being done that can be done.
We'll have to hurry for our next meeting.
Professor, you feel that there is a definite connection between them?
Definite connection as far as Dr. Keller and myself.
Doctor, please. I thought we decided that is not proved yet.
Was the satellite, when the satellite was exploded?
An unusual amount of radiation, enough to cause mutation under certain circumstances.
Could have happened to
have a bearing on it.
It does seem to have a bearing.
Will there be a reply for the
Later?
Yes.
There will be a reply.
Yes.
Later this afternoon. There will be a report this afternoon.
Perhaps there will be a report.
Yes.
A
Later.
report. Will you close the window?
We are doing everything possible to solve the problem.
We're hoping to get some further explanation of this.
We've heard all we need to know. We have to try to get out of here.
He said the rescue stations have doctors and medical supplies. If we could get Karen there, we could get help for her.
Belno is one of the world's foremost authorities on space science and technology.
Willard. I saw a sign that said Willard.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area. You from around here?
Judy and I are both from around here. We were on our way up to the lake to go swimming. And Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the lady upstairs dead. Then these other people came. We went down into the basement and put a bar across the door, and it is pretty strong.
How could we possibly get away from here? We've got a sick child, 2 women, 1 woman out of her head, 3 men, and the place is surrounded with these things.
For NASA. Dr. Grimes, your entire staff, I know, has been working very hard to find some solution to these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers. But first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's been injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
How bad has your kid been hurt?
Good advice, Doctor. Now, how about the basic problem of patients? Well,
Look, you go down there and tell... Now, Judy? Yeah, you tell Judy to come up here and you stay with the kid, all right?
In the cold room at the university, we had a cadaver from which all 4 limbs had been amputated. Sometime early this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its trunk. It was dead, but it opened its eyes and tried to move.
They want you upstairs. Did she ask for me?
She hasn't said anything.
I don't understand. Baby. It's Mommy.
I heard. I'll come back down as soon as I find out what they want.
Thank you, Judy.
The body should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after death, then, does the body become reactivated?
It's only a matter of minutes.
Minutes? Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried to the street and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them with gasoline and burn them. The bereaved will have to forego the dubious comforts that a funeral service will give. They're just dead flesh and dangerous.
I see.
Judy, I need you to find some bedspreads or sheets to tear up into small strips, okay? Is there a fruit cellar here?
Yes.
We need some bottles or jars to make Molotov cocktails to hold them off while we try to escape.
Hey, there's a big can of kerosene down there.
I'll see what I can find.
I'll look for the bottles.
There's a big key ring down there. There may be a key to the gas pump on it.
I'll check.
We can toss the cocktails from a window upstairs. Meantime, a couple of us can go out and try to get the gas and come back for the rest of the people.
But that'll leave a door open someplace.
Yeah, that's right. It better be this door. It's closer to the truck. Before we go out, we'll put some supplies behind the cellar door. While we're gone, the rest of you can hold up in there.
I found some fruit jars in the cellar. And there's a key on here that's labeled for the gas pump out back.
I'm not really that used to the truck. I found it abandoned.
I can handle the truck, no sweat.
You're it, then. You and I'll go. We'll put whatever lumber we find behind the cellar door. You can go upstairs and toss the cocktails from a window. Tom, you and I will have to unboard this door. After you toss the cocktails, you hustle back down here and lock this door. It's no good to board it up because we'll have to get back in quickly. After we get the gas and get back into the house, then we'll worry about getting everybody into the truck. Now let's move it.
No place to flee for safety, except to the rescue stations which have been set up. Indications are that before this emergency is over, we will need many, many more such rescue stations.
You always have a smile for me. How can you smile like that all the time? How many do you have done? Come on, honey, we gotta move.
Tom, are you sure about the phone?
The phone is dead out. All you get is a recorded message.
If I could only call the folks. They're going to be so worried about us.
Everything will be all right. As soon as we get to Willard, we'll call them. They might even be there.
I know. Tom? Are you sure we're doing the right thing, Tom?
What, about getting out of here?
Yeah.
Well, the television said that's the right thing to do. We've got to get to a rescue station.
I don't know.
Come on, honey, you're starting to sound like Mr. Cooper now.
But why do you have to go out there?
Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I can handle the pump. Ben doesn't know anything about that stuff.
But we're safe in here.
For how long, honey? We're safe now, but there's going to be more and more of those things.
I know all that.
Hey, listen. Remember when we had the big flood? Remember how difficult it was for us to convince you that it was right to leave? Remember we had to go to Willard then? This isn't a passing thing, honey. It's not like just a wind passing through. We've got to do something, and fast.
I just don't want you to go out there, that's all.
Hey, Smiley. Where's that big smile for me? Boy, you're sure no use at all, are you? We've got work to do, honey. And you...
We better get her downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we get back. Then we can all leave.
Oh, I'd like to leave. Yes.
Will return to Killer Kitchen only on the Angry 80s Guy YouTube channel.
They were resting in peace until they were rudely interrupted.
What do you want to do, Scud? Sit on the gravestone?
I just want to party.
This place is a mess.
Now look who's awake. They're on the way.
Brave.
They're back from the grave and ready to party.
I think things are getting out of hand.
The Return of the Living Dead. Rated R.
Come on, join the party.
Just call 1-800-747-GIRL and trade exciting, exotic voicemail messages with some of the most beautiful women in the world.
We're the girls of paradise. And here's where your fantasies begin. Just pick up the phone, and we'll meet you in paradise. Don't wait, call now.
Ride it while it's still hot, if that's how you like it. Call me at 1-800-HOT-RIDE. We love to ride, don't you? Jump into the fast lane now. Call me at 1-800-HOT-RIDE. Riding is much more fun together. Call me at 1-800-HOT-RIDE. For adults only.
Day of the Dead.
They have overrun us, you know. Something like 400,000 to 1 by my calculations.
Day of the Dead.
It could be years before we know exactly what we're dealing with here.
Day of the Dead.
Throw some binding.
The darkest day of horror the world has ever known. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead.
Due to scenes of violence, no one under 17 admitted.
Starts Friday at a theater or drive-in near you. Check newspapers for showtimes.
Welcome back. Now, we've pulled our brain out of the freezer. We're going to let that thaw up a little bit. We've made our skin. Now, our macaroni salad. Now, if you guys will look, we're making two different. I'm making mine with mayonnaise because I like mayo. And I'm making Cam Pam's with Italian oil. She calls it dressing. I call it oil. So what we're going to do is, during that last break, I chopped up some eye of newt, frog toes, toad's warts, and skin of the lizard. And after they were finally chopped down, they were put in here. In other words, we used jalapenos, a little bit of red pepper, a little bit of yellow pepper, and a little bit of onion. And we added some jalapeno. Now,
celery.
Oh, and some celery. Which leads me to the next step. First, we're going to add a little bit of paprika. Then we're going to add just a little bit. You don't want a lot, you're going to burn your customer's mouth off. And if you're your own customer, that really sucks. Just a little bit of chili powder. Now, we're going to add some celery salt. A little bit of onion powder. Finally, some garlic powder, which I'll be leaving out of mine because, as you well know, vampires do not enjoy garlic in the excess. So we're going to put these up. Hopefully without spilling them. God damn it. Fuck. Now, first, my ladies.
Shake it up.
I already did, but I'll do it again. With any kind of dressing, you want to shake this shit up. Otherwise, it's, gets all clumpy at the bottom and all the fucking watery shit on top. It kind of sucks. We're going to mix that.
You got a cover, you're going to shake it.
I do have a cover.
It's right there. I shake it.
Nah, that's what I would rather do.
I shake it.
And we're going to stick this, after we give it a good solid shake. Stick Stick that right in the fridge to chill. Now, with mine. A couple good wads of... Okay, you never want to describe anything white and gloopy as loads. Yeah, you just don't want to use terms like load, wad. We know it's white and creamy. All right, that bad. We need to get back to the show. We'll see you right here on the next break.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You ready upstairs? Yeah. Okay, toss 'em.
Go ahead, go on.
I'm going with him.
Get back in the cellar.
I'm going.
It's too late. It's too late.
Well, as you're coming, come on. Get in.
This key won't work.
Watch it. Watch the torch.
Gotta get away from the pump. Hang on.
Tom, drive your crazy, get out of the truck.
on, come on.
My jacket's caught.
Drag you out there and feed you those things.
Isn't it 3 o'clock yet? There's supposed to be another broadcast at 3 o'clock.
10 minutes.
Oh, only 10 more minutes? We don't have very long to wait. We can leave. Well, we better leave soon. It's 10 minutes to 3.
You know anything about this area at all? I mean, is Willard the nearest town?
I don't know. We were just trying to get to a motel before dark.
You said those things turned your car over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
Seems like it was pretty far away. Seems like we ran.
Forget it. It's at least a mile.
Johnny has the keys.
You gonna carry that child a mile through that army of things out there?
I can carry the kid. What's wrong with her? How'd she get hurt?
One of those things grabbed her.
Bit her on the arm.
What's wrong?
Who knows what kind of disease those things carry? Is she conscious?
Barely.
She can't walk. She's too weak.
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You gonna turn it over by yourself?
You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know. But where is it?
Will return to Killer Kitchen only on the Angry 80s Guy YouTube channel.
Welcome to a night of total terror. Night of the Living Dead.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time. Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead contains scenes of violence that may be considered shocking. No one under 17 will be admitted. Day of the Dead.
They have overrun us, you know. Something like 400,000 to 1 by my calculations.
Day of the Dead.
It could be years before we know exactly what we're dealing with here.
Day of the Dead.
Throw some binding.
The darkest day of horror the world has ever known. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead.
Due to scenes of violence, no one under 17 admitted.
Starts Friday at a theater or drive-in near you. Check newspapers for showtimes.
We now return to Killer Kitchen. Now, we've made our potato salad. We've got a snack for an appetizer. And we've made our dessert. Now it's time for the main course. What did I say? Did I say potato? Potato, potato, macaroni, macaroon. I don't know.
You can make potato salad next time. I got lots of potatoes.
On the other hand, there is no questioning this. Spam. World War II's finest food. And since we're facing down the barrel of World War III, right down to the economy, I figured let's go with a cheapo style main course. So you want to come right down as thin as you can.
We don't have a cheese cutter. That would work good.
Just like this. And just drop it down. I've buttered both sides of the bread. Just regular, old-fashioned white bread. Wait, am I still allowed to say that? Oh, who am I kidding? Of course I am. You're allowed to make fun of white people.
Exactly. So you're cool.
Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on to a medium heat, like that. Now, we're going to add... there it goes. Just a quick spray to make sure we don't get any sticking. Even though it's buttered, it will still stick. The spray keeps it.
Those pants up.
Now, let's start by taking a piece of bread and going right on top with a piece of meat. And then we're going to take our cheese. Now, we happen to have some cheese left over from when we made pizzas last week. And I figured, rather than dipping in and getting out a slice of cheese, why not make my life more difficult? So we're going to use shredded cheese. Just like that. Yeah, it melts the same, but it creates more mess.
So what? Who cares?
And then we're going to take and we're going to go right on top of that with our buttered bread. And we're going to bake it like that. So, while I fry, bake, whatever the fuck you want to call this, while I do this, why don't you do this? Let's get back to Killer Kitchen, Night of the Living Dead. And we'll see you at the conclusion of, in my opinion, the world's greatest horror movie ever made. Okay, wait, I can't totally say that with a clear conscience. I really love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That is like my favorite horror movie ever. So, you know, toss up between Tobe Hooper and George Romero. I will say George Romero had a good thing. He knew it and he was smart enough to stick with it. Tobe Hooper had a great thing, but decided he wanted to make other shit, and, well, we all know how that ended. We'll see you right here on the next break, at the conclusion of Night of the Living Dead.
Good Lord.
Being monitored closely by scientists at all the radiation detection stations. At this hour, they report the level of the mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who die during this crisis, from whatever cause, will come back to life to seek human victims unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation. Our news cameras have just returned from covering such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls, this one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghouls. The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
Anything from the supply wagon, Gus?
No, we're all right. Hey, Cass, put that thing all the way in the fire. We don't want it getting up again. All right, I got you.
Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those last 3 we caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There wasn't, though. We heard them making all kind of noise. We came over and beat them off, blasted them down. Chief, as soon as you're finished, can I see you here? Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat them or burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take you until you get the situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Well, in time, would you say you ought to be able to wrap this up in 24 hours?
Well, we don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to give a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is Bill Cardill, WIC TV 11 News.
Thank you, Bill, for that report. Official spokesman declined to speculate just how long it may take to kill off all the flesh eaters, so long as the heavy rain...
Is the fuse box in the cellar?
I don't know. It isn't the fuse. The power lines are down. Helen, I have to get that gun.
Haven't you had enough?
But 2 people are dead already on account of that guy. Take a look out that window, kid.
Hey, Vince, Al, you want to get about 4 or 5 men and a couple dogs? There's a house over here behind those trees. We want to go check it out. You stay here, Bill.
Yeah, Chief, we're going to stay with it till we meet up with the National Guard.
Where'd you get the coffee?
One of the volunteers. You're doing all the work. You take it.
Thank you. We should be wrapped up here about 3 or 4 more hours, and we'll probably get into Willard then. I guess you can go over there and meet the National Guard. Nick, you and the rest of these men want to come with me?
Well, Bill, I'll check in the office, see what's happening.
All right, Steve. Tell them we're going to stay with it, and everything appears to be under control.
They need you down there by the barn. Some of these guys can follow the wagon down. I only need a few men to check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince.
Yeah, sure looks like it, Cop.
He's a dead one. Get up here. Nick, Tony, Steve, you want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire? You, drag that out of here and throw it on the fire.
Nothing down here.
All right, go ahead down and give him a hand. Let's go check out the house, man.
There's something there. I heard a noise.
All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes. Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
Send the wagon through directly ahead. Over.
Keep those dogs back off of those things.
Go more quickly.
Will return to Killer Kitchen only on the Angry 80s Guy YouTube channel.
They were resting in peace until they were rudely interrupted.
What do you want to do, Scud? Sit on the gravestone?
I just want to party.
This place is a mess.
Now look who's awake. They're on the way.
Break.
They're back from the grave and ready to party.
I think things are getting out of hand.
The Return of the Living Dead. Rated R.
Welcome back to Lightomania!
Hard to believe we're winning.
Hold it. Thank you.
Jesse's going for the mask.
Wow! The old mask trick! You're still using it!
Who is this guy?
Oh!
Parker.
Gee, what a surprise.
Hi, Dad.
Wait, it's not over yet. Jesse is really Elsie Greenwood.
What a makeup job.
And I'm not Vince McMahon. Oh, you're Sonny Bono.
Hi, everybody.
Well, Sonny, Taste Great has won, which proves Miller Lite is America's favorite light beer. Because when it's Miller Lite, less filling really tastes great.
I fooled everyone.
Who is this guy?
Now listen, I got a story for everyone.
Saturday nights at 10 on WKZF, Channel 68.
We now return to Killer Kitchen.
And so ends the Night of the Living Dead. And I guess that would mean today is Dawn of the Dead, and tomorrow will be Day of the Dead. There, I just fixed it for you. Now, I gotta be honest, one thing about this movie that has always bugged the fuck out of me. Do you guys realize that had everybody listened to Harry and gone downstairs, everybody would have been fine? He was an asshole, no doubt. And in the 1990 remake, he was a fucking jagoff. But whether or not you're an asshole has very little to do with being right and wrong. And in this manner, everybody followed fucking Ben and tried to defend the house. And the house got overrun, and everybody fucking died. Had they listened to Harry and just gone down in the cellar, that would have been the end of it. Zombies couldn't have gotten to them. The next day, that rescue squad would have happened to across the house. They would have been found. They would have gotten out. But now here's the ultimate option. Me, with that many people especially, and that amount of time, you've got the tools at hand. You've got everything you need, including manpower. Get everybody up fucking stairs. Get the fridge upstairs where the television is. And I know, like 1960 fucking 8, those were heavy sons of bitches. But they were no heavier than the sons of bitches are down today. You know, I love it. We live in this fucking future. Everything's supposed to be all small and compact. Not our fridges, though. Nope, not here. In America, we got our fridges king size. And when you don't want king size, you got Mondo size. And when you don't want Mondo, you got Super Mondo fucking gigantic, awesome size. Because everything in this country is mega size. Not mega size, mega size. Too bad it's not mega size. The country might. Anyway. Now you'll notice what I've been doing here is finishing up our sandwiches. Now, what I did here is I made some blood spatter sandwiches. And how I made that was when I put them in the fryer, I just splashed them with some red food coloring, and then I let them sit and cook. So while we let these sit and cook, the movie's over, but I always have something up my sleeve. Enjoy the purple Smurfs.
Will return to Killer Kitchen only on the Angry 80s Guy YouTube channel.
They were resting in peace until they were rudely interrupted.
What do you want to do, Scud? Get on the gravestone?
I just want to party.
This place is a mess.
Now look who's awake.
They're on the way.
They're back from the grave and ready to party.
I think things are getting out of hand.
The Return of the Living Dead. Rated R.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time. Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead contains scenes of violence that may be considered shocking. No one under 17 will be admitted.
When there's no peace for the dead, there's no escape the living.
Is it serious? Is dead serious?
Just when you thought it was safe to be dead. Return of the Living Dead, Part 2. Rated R. Starts Friday. Check newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
We now return to Killer Kitchen.
All right, Smurfs, gather around. Today, we have work to do on the bridge, so why don't you all get started? And I'll be along in a few minutes.
Time for a nap break. Just find a cozy corner and...
Lazy Smurf, where are you going?
Oh, I'll...
Get back to work now, like everyone else.
Yes, Papa Smurf.
Oh, these Smurfs, they wear me out. Hello, Hefty. How's it going?
Oh, fine, Papa Smurf. Could you toss me a shovel?
Here you go. Ooh. Whose shovel is this?
Oh, that's mine, Papa Smurf. You, Papa Smurf, don't you just love it? I picked the color all by myself.
With your eyes open or closed?
Very humorous, Papa Smurf. I always say that Papa Smurf is a very humorous Smurf indeed.
Oh! My nerves can't take much more of this. Oof! Lazy Smurf! Go out in the forest and cut some logs. Lots of logs. And move it! Why aren't these Smurfs easier to live with? They're driving me stark, raving Smurfy.
Oh, my first log. Shoot, Fly. Go away. Scat. Beat it. Wham. Buzz off. Ow! Ouch! It bit me. What's happening? I feel...
That lazy Smurf sure is taking his sweet time coming back.
He's probably loafing on the job, Papa Smurf. In fact...
Never mind, Brainy. Just go find him.
Yes, Papa Smurf. Lazy, where are you?
Knap! Knap, knap, knap!
Yay! Papa Smurf! Papa Smurf!
Knap, knap!
Lazy's over there, but he's all purple, and all he says is knap.
Lazy's always talking about a nap.
Like this? Knap!
Yay!
This is terrible. Lazy must have been bitten by a purple fly.
A purple fly? Oh, there he is! Knap! Knap! Knap!
He's headed for the village.
Catch him!
This way!
Stop that, Smurf!
Knap! Knap!
We got him!
Poor Lazy. Take him to his house.
Knap! Knap!
The last case of this was when I was only a young Smurfling, barely 100 years old. And I can't remember what the cure was.
Knap! Knap!
I must find the proper formula to help poor Lazy.
Knap!
Ow! The purple Smurf bit me! He... Knap! 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 Knap!
Great, Smurf, it's catching! Everyone out! I must discover a cure before it's too late. up, Smurfs! I think I found the cure. But to test it, we must catch a purple Smurf. It will be dangerous. The purples are contagious. Are there any volunteers?
Me!
Okay, let's split up and search every bush.
Hey, I found one! Oh, help! Help!
Snap!
Ow! He bit me, and I feel...
Hey, I captured one single Smurfidly.
Oh, Brainy, I had no idea you were so brave.
Ah, Smurfette, it was... nothing.
Okay, let's get started. Andy, pinch his tail.
And welcome back to Killer Kitchen. Now, you'll see we've got our spread. Here is our zombie skin. Our blood spatter sandwiches. Here we have our brain. Ooey and gooey and ready to go. And then here we have the Italian style macaroni salad and its American counterpart. So there you go. That's the full spread, guys. As for me, exactly. I am butt-ass tired. I'm going to eat some of my spread. Then I'm going to have a couple of those brownies from last week. And I'm going to knock out. So we'll see you right here next time on the Killer Kitchen, where we've always got something cooking. And even if things don't turn out as they're supposed to be, they're definitely something different. We'll see you around.
He's still purple.
Quickly, untie him and put him in bed. Poor Smurf. Yeah, it's enough to ruin your appetite. Snap!
Yow! He bit me! Snap! Get away! Snap! Papa Smurf! Snap!
Snap! Ow! This is a disaster. I must find another remedy. Smurfs, I hope this ointment will do the trick. But once again, I'll need volunteers to... Oh, so that's it. You, and you are elected. Now, Smurf to it.
Yes, Papa Smurf.
Good job, Smurfs. Now, to apply the ointment. Smurfs, none of my remedies have worked, and time is running out. 15 Smurfs are infected now.
Ow!
And these at 16,
Ow!
17 must be cured before we become extinct. Our last hope is to capture the dreaded purple fly. Perhaps we can learn from it what the cure is. Go, and good Smurfing!
Ow!
Oh no, another one.
Oh, we caught the purple fly! We caught it! Yay! Hurry!
Aha! I found it! Gotcha! Hey! Put me down! Help! Help! Oh, I've tried everything and nothing worked. I'll just feed it a tuberose flower and go get some rest. Eureka! It turned blue! That's the remedy! Tuberose pollen! Quickly, Smurfs, gather all the tuberose flowers you can find and smurf to it. Good work, Smurfs. The pollen is ready. When you run out, refill from this jar.
Papa Smurf! Oh, Papa Smurf! Look, the purples are coming!
Bellows ready! Aim!
What happened? Stacy, look out! Ow!
Don't give up, Smurfs!
Ouch! Get up! Get up! Get up! Ow! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Huh? What?
Smurf!
Get up! Ow! Get up! Get up! Get up!
Stand your ground, my little Smurfs! Smurfs, where are you? Great Smurf! I'm the only one left, and I'm out of pollen. I must get more from the lab. Ow! Oh no, all is lost. The Smurfs will be no more.
Work yard!
Oh, what a welcome sight you all are! Never again will I complain about my dear little Smurfs. I love you all just as you are.
And we love you too, Papa Smurf! Surprise! Well, Papa Smurf did keep his promise. He didn't complain.
Will return to Killer Kitchen only on the Angry 80s Guy YouTube channel.
They were resting in peace until they were rudely interrupted.
What do you want to do, Scuzz? Get over gravestones?
I just want to party.
This place is a mess.
Now look who's awake. They're on the way. Break! They're back from the grave and ready to party.
I think things are getting out of hand.
The Return of the Living Dead. Rated R.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time. Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead contains scenes of violence that may be considered shocking. No one under 17 will be admitted.
I have seen the future of horror. His name is Clive Barker.
Every once in a while, the gods seem to shine down here on us on the kitchen.
Hellraiser. Beyond any terror you have imagined. A nightmare.
No.
Unlike anything you have witnessed.
And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this down to 350.
Is born. Because within these walls, the unholy is unleashed.
I ever tell you guys about little Johnny and his first day of school?
Hellraiser, a film by Clive Barker.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Everybody, we'll see you next week.
Saturday nights at 10 on WKZF, Channel 68.
You can lock your doors, but you can't lock the madman out of your mind. Maniac. No one under 17 admitted.
Saturday nights at 10 on WKZF, Channel 68.